Breaking news! Monday started off hot around here. The Denver Broncos free agency continues to turn heads in the NFL, and this latest move may be the biggest statement yet. I'll give you all the details in a moment. Today I'm going to be very objective, but before I go any further, hit the like button if you're a true Denver Broncos fan. If you believe we're going to make it to the Super Bowl, write something like this: Go Broncos! I believe! Okay, now let's get to the point. Dre Greenlaw, yes, that Dre Greenlaw from the San Francisco 49ers, is now a Bronco, and the ripple effect of this signing is nothing short of huge. We're not just talking about a solid linebacker addition here. We're talking about a key piece being added to a defense that already has fans excited. And if you think this is just about numbers or roster moves, you might want to sit down, because what's going on behind the scenes paints a picture of a franchise turning a big corner under Sean Payton. Let's rewind a bit. Heading into the offseason, it was clear that the Broncos needed to solidify their linebacker core. Fans were dreaming big. Most didn't believe Denver could pull off a move like this. But then, the impossible happened. Dre Greenlaw chose the Broncos. And not only that, he turned down a higher offer from none other than his former team, the 49ers. This wasn't a faceless contract offer either. Head coach Kyle Shanahan and general manager John Lynch personally tried to bring him back, reportedly offering more money than Denver. Yet, Greenlaw still chose to run with the Broncos. If that doesn't speak volumes about what's brewing in Denver, nothing will. Think about it. Greenlaw's former teammate, Fred Warner, arguably the best linebacker in football, credits Greenlaw as a huge part of his own development. Warner recently told the Denver Post that Greenlaw hasn't even scratched the surface of his potential and that playing beside him shaped his career. That's like Michael Jordan calling Scottie Pippen the reason he became great. So now imagine this: Dre Greenlaw stepping into the middle of a Denver defense, possibly lining up next to Alex Singleton, Sanders, or maybe even Lavelle Bailey. No matter who lines up next to him, Greenlaw brings instant credibility, leadership, and a championship mindset to the Broncos locker room. And let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, Greenlaw had an Achilles injury, but if anyone knows his health better than anyone, it's the 49ers, the team that monitored him day in and day out. They still wanted him back. That should give Broncos fans a ton of confidence in what Greenlaw can bring to the field. This isn't just a great signing, it's a statement. It's the kind of move that proves Denver is no longer a team stuck in the mud. It's a team players actually want to be part of. That hasn't been the case in Denver for a while. As one fan pointed out, in the last 8 years, we haven't seen a player choose the Broncos over another team for less money. Until now. It's giving Emmanuel Sanders in 2014 vibes, when he walked out of Kansas City's facility mid-recruiting pitch because he realized he could go play with Peyton Manning in Denver. That's how powerful the pull is becoming again. And the credit goes to Sean Payton. As reporter Jeff Duncan put it, Payton is an elite recruiter. When he sets his sights on a player, he usually gets him. So, while rumors have been swirling about missing out on guys like Cooper Kupp or Stephon Diggs, the reality is different. If Payton really wanted them, they'd probably be in orange and blue. Evan Ingram picked Denver. Dre Greenlaw picked Denver. There's still cap space left, and the pattern is clear. If Denver is in the mix, don't count them out. Meanwhile, let's glance at the AFC West, because it's becoming clear how much the tides are shifting. Over in Las Vegas, the Raiders are scrambling. They had the second most cap space in the entire NFL and came out of free agency with almost nothing to show for it. They took a flyer on a declining quarterback Seattle didn't want anymore, lost 2 starting linebackers, and even their own fan base is scratching their heads. There was a brief moment of fear they might land Matthew Stafford, Brock Bowers, Ashton Jeanty in the draft, and somehow involve Tom Brady. That would have been scary, but that storm never formed. Now, even diehard Raiders fans are sounding defeated, and that says a lot about the direction both franchises are heading. This year's draft also has the potential to swing heavily in Denver's favor. The more quarterbacks that go early, the better the chances that top-tier talent at other positions drops to the Broncos. The QB situation in Denver is already stable, so bring on the QB hype. Let teams fight over J.J. McCarthy, Shadur Sanders, and now Jackson Dart, who just had a lights-out pro day. If Dart sneaks into the top 20, especially with the Steelers reportedly eyeing him at 21, that's another slot that could push a much-needed weapon or lineman down into Denver's lap. We're talking names like Ashton Jeanty, Tyler Warren, and Colston Lenz. The path is opening up for the Broncos to grab a draft day gem, and that's where the front office's strategy really starts to shine. Broncos fans, this is the kind of offseason that sets the tone for years to come. You've got a respected coach making aggressive, successful moves. You've got a front office that's earning real respect from players around the league. You've got elite talent choosing Denver for less money, and you've got an ownership group that's willing to spend, build, and support a championship caliber team. So what do you think, Broncos country? Is Dre Greenlaw the missing piece for this defense? Do you believe in the vision Sean Payton is building in Denver? And who's the one draft pick you're hoping falls to us in the first round? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And as we look ahead, it's impossible not to think about how all these moves connect to something bigger happening in Denver. We're not talking about random signings or desperate attempts to fill holes. We're seeing a clear, deliberate strategy unfold. Sean Payton and the Broncos front office aren't just reacting to what's out there. They're shaping the market, dictating the tempo, and sending a loud message to the rest of the league. The Denver Broncos are back in the game, and they're building something that players want to be a part of. Take a moment and think about what Dre Greenlaw's choice really means. He didn't just pick a new team. He turned down more money. He turned down familiarity. He turned down a Super Bowl contending roster in San Francisco where he was a cornerstone of one of the most feared defenses in recent memory. And he turned all of that down to join a team that finished last season in transition. That doesn't happen unless something very real and very special is brewing behind closed doors. And it's not just Greenlaw. Evan Ingram made a similar decision. You don't see multiple high-level veterans choosing Denver, a team with lingering questions at quarterback and the shadow of Russell Wilson's departure still fresh, unless the internal culture has done a 180. This speaks to trust in Sean Payton, trust in ownership, and trust in the vision. That vision has shifted the way players view Denver, from a franchise in flux to a legitimate landing spot for talent hungry for more than just a paycheck. This change in perception can't be overstated. Just a year ago, Denver had to overpay to attract guys. Now, they're getting players to take less because they believe in the direction. It's reminiscent of the Peyton Manning era, when veterans were lining up to join a team they knew had a real shot. This might not be the same kind of roster just yet, but that same energy is starting to creep back in. You can feel it in the moves. You can feel it in the players' comments. And you can absolutely feel it in the way opposing fan bases are reacting. Look at the Raiders again. Their fans were confident heading into free agency, second most cap space in the league, lots of holes to fill, and what seemed like endless possibilities. But here we are at the end of March, and their haul looks more like a clearance bin than a championship roster. A washed-up quarterback, a couple of depth pieces, and not a single marquee signing. Meanwhile, Denver, dealing with Russell Wilson's massive dead cap hit, comes away with 3 Pro Bowl caliber players. That's front office magic, plain and simple. Broncos fans, we're watching the early stages of a real transformation. This isn't hype. This isn't off-season smoke. This is real, and it's happening faster than many expected. The national media might not see it yet. They might still be laughing at Russell Wilson memes or talking about the Chiefs and Chargers. But inside the building, in the locker room, and now among top-tier free agents, there's a very different story being told. So now it's your turn. What do you make of all this? Is Sean Payton truly building the next great Broncos defense? Are we one piece away, or is this already a playoff team in the making? And which draft prospect are you hoping falls to us the most? Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep this conversation going. Broncos country, something special is happening. Let's ride.